Hello friends, welcome back to today's video, which is what is on my iPad Pro. I'll be discussing the various apps I use from a daily basis, from educational apps to like just for fun type things. So first here is like the sidebar, and it just gives you some widgets about things you want. And the first app we got here is just a background eraser app. It's sideways because it's meant for the iPhone. Next is one of my newer apps, which is called Over. I recently discovered it, but it's like an app where you can get cool fonts that you don't really have installed on your device. Here is Facetune. It's just an editing app, pretty simple. Next is Canva Stories, which is meant for the phone, that's why it's sideways, but you can just make really cool stories like this one I made here for my Skillshare promo. Next here we have Lightroom, which again is just another editing app. You just have a lot of options when it comes to editing. And then here's voice memos. And then lastly in this section is Unsplash. Unsplash is a royalty-free photo gallery type thing, and you can just take free photos where you won't be like charged if you reproduce them or edit them. This section here is entertainment, and first I have Etsy. So you guys may know I have an Etsy shop, and I just sell a bunch of different things, from my notes to printables to iPad templates, a bunch of things. And this one is Libby, which is one of my favorite apps, and you can just read books. Although I'm in university, I'm kind of busy. I don't really have as much time to read, but it's still a great app. Next is Skillshare. As you guys may know, I have a class on there all about note-taking and how to organize them, how to take neater notes, everything you need to know. And I think you guys should really check it out. It's link in bio. You can get 2 months for free, and you have access to all these different classes. Here is Netflix. I don't actually use Netflix. I'm just using like my cousin's account, so it's not really like a daily thing I use. However, I would recommend Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's the best show out there. Next we have YouTube. As you guys probably know, you guys are watching this video on YouTube. I try to watch educational videos, but you know, that doesn't really happen. So anyway, here is my channel. Thank you guys so much for 6,000 followers. You guys should definitely subscribe if you haven't, so check that out if you have time. Also, here is Amazon. It's just like where you buy stuff. I'm currently looking into getting an overhead tripod, and I also looked into getting a microphone, which I am currently using. That's why I have better audio in my newer videos. Next we have university and education related items. This is Pulse, which is like Avenue to Learn. It's just their app, and here I have all my classes and everything like that. Next we have here is the Whitelines app, which is the app that goes along with my favorite notebook, the Whitelines notebook. Here is the video if you haven't checked it out. This is Google Calendar, you know, planning out my schedule, seeing if I have time for appointments or meetings with other people. You know, it's just all around great app. This is Microsoft Teams. My school uses Microsoft Teams instead of Zoom or like Google. It just really depends on where you go to university. It's a really great app too. This is just a calculator, since Apple doesn't have a native calculator on their iPads, which I find kind of weird. However, I just use it for pretty simple calculations if I don't have my calculator nearby. This is my productivity section. It's just a bunch of different apps. So this first here is Google Slides. You know, you can make pretty simple and aesthetic looking slides. This is Google Drive, where you can keep all your documents and PowerPoint presentations. Google Maps. So I'm just going to show you like Asia, because I live in Canada, so I don't really want you guys to know where I live. However, it's pretty good for like getting directions and all that stuff. Next here is Google Docs, you know, just writing up different essays, reports, anything like that. I've used it all throughout high school, and it's such a great app. This is Notion. Notion is such an amazing app too. I use it to plan all my YouTube videos and all that stuff. This is Dropbox. I just put my calendars here because I don't have any more room on Google Drive, and the link is below if you do want my September calendars. So here it's just whatever. I don't actually have any use for those apps. Those are just the regular ones. Here are note-taking apps. I'm planning on doing a video about free note-taking apps, so I downloaded a bunch and I'm about to try them out and make a comparison for you guys. The next few apps are on my page without a folder because I use these commonly. This is Fonto. It's just a good app for different text types. I usually use it on my thumbnails. This is the Raptors app. I am a Raptors fan and I have been for like, I'd say 8 years. They recently lost in the playoffs, which was kind of sad. However, I just like this app as when they were winning, the score would show up in the widgets here. This is YouTube Studio. I'll just let you see all my videos. This is Pinterest. I just like using this for different wallpapers, video inspiration. I have a bunch of different boards for my interests, from like food to like drawing, all that stuff. This is the App Store, you know what it is, where you get all your apps. This is Keynote, one of the best apps out there. I use it to make my planner templates and like printables because it's just really great for the iPad. And this is my hyperlinked agenda I made for myself so I can just plan out my life. These are available in my Etsy shop if you guys are interested, and it just works in GoodNotes. Like, you go into this little button and then you can click on a certain month and it brings you there. I just find it pretty useful for planning out my day, and it's kind of just like structured perfectly for me, and I'm really organized with it for some reason, more than like paper bullet journaling. Also, next here is Messenger. I'm not going to show you that because I have private chat. This is Etsy Seller, where I just manage my shop. This is Spotify, where I just listen to music. I love listening to music when I study, so it just helps me focus, I guess. I have this one playlist which is like 30 hours long, but I just like listening to different pop music. And while we're at it, let me just give you a few music recommendations. So currently, I really like JP Sax. He's really good. I also like Love. I recently found him and he's also really good. And then I really like George Ezra. He has like a really nice voice. Anyway, so that's just for now. My music taste always changes, so you know what, if you ask me next month, it's probably gonna be different. So this is Snapseed, the best editing app. I use it to edit all my photos on Instagram, and it's just really great. This is the Clock app, and I just use it for a stopwatch or like timer, that type of thing. This is the camera that's built in. I personally think the iPad takes really great photos. I think even better than my cell phone, but I have a Samsung, so we can't really say anything about that. This is Gmail and Google Photos. Here are my regular photos. I just have a bunch of Etsy things inside because I just uploaded a listing. This is GoodNotes, my go-to note-taking app. Here are my math lecture notes. As you guys know, I also use this to plan my life. This is the Safari app, where I use Google, which is basically your best friend in university, and it quite literally is. This is Files. I keep all my textbooks. I didn't pay a dime for them because they're all digital. And here are my Etsy items. We next have the settings, where you can just control notifications, all that type of stuff. This is Procreate, the best drawing app out there. I usually use it to make my Etsy listings and GIFs or like titles for my YouTube videos. This is the best drawing app out there, mainly because it just has layers, and I just find the layers really useful. Here is also a thumbnail I made for my recent video. As you guys can see, here are the layers that I included for my thumbnail. And then that's the end of this tour. Thank you guys so much for sticking to the end and watching my video. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.